How you doing?
Hi there.
What do you have here?
I have what's called a mail cover, which is basically a piece of mail that flew on the Spirit of St. Louis, piloted by Charles Lindbergh in 1928.
Okay, Charles Lindbergh, quite the character. He flew planes often to deliver mail. Actually had to jump out of a plane twice with a parachute while delivering mail, and still thought it would be a good idea to fly across the Atlantic Ocean.
I'm here to sell from 1928. It's a piece of mail that flew on the Spirit of St. Louis, piloted by Charles Lindbergh. I think it's very special just because of the historical aspect of what it is. This piece of mail flew on the Spirit of St. Louis right before it was delivered to the Smithsonian. I am hoping to get about $1,500 for my Spirit of St. Louis mail cover.
This is pretty cool. Yeah, the Spirit of St. Louis is probably one of the most, if not the most famous plane, especially, you know, in American culture, but it flew from New York to Paris, and it was the first plane to do so. It was a custom plane. I mean, this plane didn't even have a windshield, you know? He, like, looked through a periscope to navigate. He flew the flight solo 33 and a half hours and landed in Paris. Fast forward, 100 years later, aviation has come a long way. So where did you get this?
I picked this up at a estate sale in Salt Lake City.
Okay, let's see, 1928, the only official mail ever carried on the Spirit of St. Louis.
His friend here, Roe, was a friendly pilot of his who asked him to carry some mail on these flights. This is the last flight just before the plane went to the Smithsonian.
How much are you looking to get for it?
I'm looking to get about $1,500 for it.
Okay, not to say it's not worth $1,500. I just thinking I can't quite pay that much for it. Would you maybe do like 250?
I don't think I can do 250. I think probably the best that I could do would be like $500. It's beautiful.
I agree with everything you say. It's beautiful, it's a piece of history, and it's relatively rare. But I think I just have to be a little conservative as to the recent prices I've seen, you know, in the last year. So I'm gonna pass on it today.
I understand.
All right, well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
These days, air travel is no doubt a far cry from the first transatlantic flight on the Spirit of St. Louis. Way before you could watch a movie or send a text from 33,000 feet, there were some tough trailblazers of aviation who defied gravity. The French may be known for their deep history of baguettes and sticky cheese, but they were also early in on aviation. A pair of French brothers called the Montgolfiers invented a giant hot air balloon made out of paper. They stuffed a sheep, a rooster, and a duck inside this thing for its maiden voyage in 1783. The 8-minute flight was a massive success, as our animal friends landed safely about 2 miles from the launch site. Come September 1852, Jules Henry Gifford made the first steerable aircraft. The maiden flight went 17 miles from Paris to Elancourt, powered by a 400-pound, 3-horsepower steam engine. Soon after, the Wright brothers mastered the gasoline engine-powered plane, and Orville Wright famously took flight in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903. The aviation race was on. Flight exhibitions became big business, and daredevil aviators like Russian Peter Nesterov, who completed the world's first mid-air loop, continued pushing the goalposts. Now, more than 800 million people fly on U.S.-based airlines annually. And it's no wonder why. Air travel is the fastest mode of transportation, and the one I've recently chosen to take up as a hobby. Yep, yours truly is taking flight lessons and will soon be the proud owner of a TL-3000 airplane. I will soon be going by the moniker Captain Rick.